Abduction, Chapter 31, Part 1. Echo drove us in our rental car to the mall to meet our friends, John and Juliana. Despite the seriousness of what was happening in the city, we were in a good mood. The threat of visiting aliens was rendered void by all three of us sleeping in the living room. None of us wanted to be near a window. I thought it detrimental to remind Echo and Tatiana that the night the aliens tried to abduct Echo, an alien was in the living room watching me. I could not help myself but think about Natasha. If I had a chance and were away from Echo, I would attempt to call her. I had her number in my wallet hidden in one of the credit card sleeves buried between my driver's license and a healthcare card. Echo had no reason to look between those cards and accidentally stumble across it while taking out one of my credit cards. Natasha was out there somewhere in the city. I felt it in my soul, and her disappearance was not due to alien abduction. I was sure of it, despite what Echo and I experienced. Someone had kidnapped Natasha. I may not be directly responsible, but I put her at risk when I asked her to meet me. I let her go home at night without any male protection during uncertain circumstances. "There they are," said Echo with elation in her voice. I turned my head toward the door of the mall. It seemed like ages since I last saw my business partner, even though it had only been a month. We had a lot to go over, not only what was happening in the city, but also with the business proposal Maxim presented our business. The walk from our parked car was less than 5 minutes. Echo and Tatiana had a spring in their steps, and I had to admit I was happy as well. There's always something comforting about seeing a piece of your life from home. The girls greeted each other with joyful hugs, and Juliana had a hug for me as well. "Great to see you, Richard," said John. "I guess things have been getting exciting while you've been waiting for us to get here." "You can say that again," I replied. "Are you up for a UFO hunt later tonight?" John hesitated and gave his fiancée, Juliana, a look for approval. "I think it can be arranged. Juliana wants me to focus on the wedding, but she can't deny us a chance to talk about business. And I want to hear more about the business deal. If it makes business sense, then let's do it. But I have to hear the details first." A tiny smile curled on my lips upon hearing John's words. It was like we were back in college again and planning our next night out on the town. Echo was all for John and me finding out more about the UFOs. Still, Juliana would be harder to convince, hence John's reluctance in the beginning. Juliana was much more conservative, and I couldn't blame her for wanting her husband to be focused on their upcoming wedding. "Then let's do it," I replied. "Echo's already on board for us looking for UFOs." John nodded and held the mall door open for the girls to enter and for me to follow. Driving away and out of sight was Ilya Popov, the young filmmaker. I was sure of it and stopped in the middle of the doorway, stunned. I looked over my shoulder and casually observed something I had not expected. I didn't know what it meant. The quarry I had been looking for was escaping again. I needed to talk with the young man to get him off my suspect list or make him the suspect. Unfortunately, my questioning would have to wait for another day. "What's wrong?" asked John. "I thought I saw someone I knew," I replied, and turned to enter the mall. John entered after me and caught up with me as we walked after the girls. "No, really, who are you looking at? You don't have any friends here." My best friend was wrong. I had 2 friends in Lutsk, and one of them that had not been heard from in a day. "I've met a couple, John, and one of them you will meet tonight when we hunt for UFOs." "Tell me what's going on, Richard. You hinted at it during our last conversation." I slowed my walking pace to put some distance between the girls and us. Echo and Tatiana knew what was going on, but if I wanted John to join in the search for Natasha, I had to be discreet. Otherwise, his fiancée would not let John join Valery and me tonight. "I told you about the UFOs and how people are disappearing, but I think someone is taking advantage of the alien lights in the sky to kidnap people," I said. "That's quite a claim, but can you back it up?" asked John. "I have my suspects, but nothing concrete enough to bring to the local police," I replied. "I don't even know if the authorities are going to do anything, or suspect a human connection to the abductions." John held me up with a tap on my shoulder. This created even more separation between the girls and us. With the noise inside the shopping mall, the girls would never hear our conversation, and Echo and Juliana were old friends, so seeing us stopping to talk would be nothing out of the ordinary, except Echo knew my plans for the evening. "What about your other friend? Will they be coming with us?" asked John, while looking in Juliana's direction. "Unfortunately, she is one of the missing," I replied. "You're not serious, are you?" "I'm very serious, and Echo doesn't want me to look for her." "We are talking about your Echo, right? That's nothing like how she would react. What happened?" "Echo's jealous," I said, and glanced in her direction. "Why is she jealous? She knows you love her dearly." "Well, this friend is really nice looking. I mean, really nice looking." John shrugged his shoulders. "That's nothing. You work with lots of pretty women. What did you do?" I blinked. I didn't do anything. John cocked his head at me, and his lips formed a line. I know you too well, Richard. You flirted with this girl, and she took interest in you, and Echo sensed the attraction. Plus, you haven't asked Echo to marry you yet, have you? My best friend knew me well enough that I would never cheat on Echo. Even when she left me to go work overseas, I threw myself into my work. If I said that his accusations didn't hurt, I would be lying. I had to admit, though, he was right. I created a tiny rift between Echo and myself. One would never have guessed when she fell asleep in my arms while we slept on the couch.